I'm back on my sofa. It's been a while, hasn't it? I hope you enjoyed my last two videos. It was a recap of how I started my knitting podcasts. Mainly with sewing and dyeing and spinning fleece. There are a lot of little videos. If you go to the beginning of this playlist, that make up some of those videos I did in the last couple of weeks. So, give it a go if you want. This month, December, beautiful day today. It's sunny. Yeah. Doesn't look like it this end, but the other side of the house is sunny. And usually in the morning, when it's like this, I like to sit and knit in bed because it's nice and warm and the sun's shining through the window. But today, Malky has bought me an electric blanket throw. I haven't got it on yet. And there we go. Switch on. I can time it. I can either have an hour or I can have 3 hours. And I can change the temperature. So I'm going to do 3 hours at number 3. And I can turn it down at any time I like. So that's good, isn't it? Now, as you know, I'm a bit of a recycler. I don't like waste. So, if somebody gives me a lot of yarn because they know I'm a recycler, I like to use it. And I like to design with it. For me, it's an exciting prospect. I love beautiful yarns, and I've got one coming up very shortly in the next few weeks, and I'm going to share that with you when it comes. But in the meantime, I have got lots of knitting projects to finish. The deal with Mr. Ray is that I finish what I've started before I start getting more wool. You get to a time where you've got to start budgeting, don't you? This time of year for definite, because it's colder, so we're using more electric and etc, etc. So this month, December, I'm going to try and do as many days as I can to show you what I've been knitting and whether I finish any of these projects. Today's projects are, as I say, all about my recycling of yarn. And this particular one has been staring at me from the basket for quite a while. In fact, actually since the summer. And I thought it will be a good one to knit with, I felt. I like the sparkle. I like anything with sparkles. This is black with red sparkles. So I decided to start with a shaped shoulder, but look, it didn't come out like a shaped shoulder. It came like a raglan, and I looked at it and thought, what am I going to do with that? I wanted to engineer it so that it would have a V-neck at the front and these shoulders at the back. But I looked at it and I thought, it might fit in with the design that's been in my little book. And I thought I'd try a racing back, and that's what I've done. I've worked up the back. I started from here, worked down there. It was far too long, so I pulled it back. And then I picked up stitches there and did a neck. And now I'm working down the front. You see, so I've got a little round neck there. I have a little panel in the middle. I have been using my edging all the way down there and then and down the side. I think it's going to be nice. I have got one ball left. Where's my ball? I've only got one ball left. This has taken up to now 3 balls. And I think this had 170 meters on it. So it was quite a lot. I've been using a size 3.75 mainly. Although I have to say, don't think I have a 3.75 needle. But I managed to get, I think this is, I'm not sure if this is a 4mm or a 3.75. It didn't have a number on it. And I measured it in those little things you get. And I don't know. It could be either or. But the tension I've been getting is 24 stitches to 28 rows over 4 inches. So it's more of a 9, isn't it? I think, or 3.75. In the US, they use a 3.5, I think. Or no, is that continental? No, it's a 9 in the US, isn't it? A number 9 in the US, a 3.75 in the UK, and a 3.5 in the continent. I think. It's very confusing. So I've done that, and what I want to know is, do I finish this whole garment in rib from this point forward till I finish my ball of wool? Or should I just carry on in pattern all the way down? So I just want to know what your opinion is of that. So if you'd like to put that in the comments, then tomorrow I can let you know what I decided to do. I did a little post on the community, the YouTube community yesterday, and said to everybody, right, I'm going to do some daily pods, little knit pods. What should I do? Should I do what I've knitted in this year, 2023? Or should I finish all my knitting projects? And the answer came back that you'd all like to see me finish knitting my project. So that's what I'm going to do as best I can. And life and energy allows me. So they'll be very short ones. They're not going to be out 40 minutes or something like that. I'm going to try and keep it to about 20 minutes if I can. I don't get carried away talking, you know what I'm like. So I've just done my side now, which was, as I say, it's kind of in rib. There's rib, there's a lace edging, and that sort of thing. So I've just done that now. And then what I do is I do stocking stitch across the back, and then across the front I have a little rib section. The reason I wanted to use ribbing in these places is as this is not, it has a give in it, but it's a stiffer yarn, and it will, I want a bit of a fitted feeling to it. So I thought the ribbing would do that. So that's why I'm asking now, do you think I should finish it in rib? So place your comments below, please. Okay, so the next one I've got sitting right next to me is almost finished. I've knitted another skirt. There you go. The ribbing on this one is not as wide as the one I had done before. And so I've started from the bottom this time and worked upwards in the round. The back is ribbed. I have my Aran centre panel, which I actually did without a cable needle. I've kind of worked, I almost thought I'd done that wrong there, just the way it's going over. I've done it using my fingers. So I've done the cables on my fingers, on the middle one there. And I've come up now to the waist, and I have knitted a waistband, which I can turn over and stitch down. The little bit at the front here is where I'm going to put some cord. But generally what I'm going to do with this is once I've sewn it down, I will leave a little section, probably round about here, to thread in the thick elastic I've got. And then I might knit a couple of little cords to come out there. Or the other little thought that came to my mind was, do I put in one of those cords you can get for fleeces, you know what I mean? Sportswear, with a little knobble that you pull up and down. I quite like that idea. So again, if you like that idea, would you let me know in the comments? So that's on its way. Just has a little thread to pull in there. Where I've joined, I've taken off all the ends. Yeah, I like that, and it's cozy. Oh, and the other little bit I did was, I was looking at the front cover of a pom-pom magazine and went, oh, I like that. So I've shaped the hip with a bit of increasing and then decreasing. Can you see? It's just like an eye, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's what gives you some hip shaping. Let's do that again. Can you see that? A little bit of hip shaping. Yeah, there is a little. It's just gentle. It's not big. It's a gentle hip shape. So yeah, I like that. So that's on the list to finish. So if you can let me know what you would like to see in the waistband, that would be good. Started the November jacket by Petite Knits, and I've got a little further down. That's the back of it. I love this shaped shoulder work. This I like. This I will like to think about for other projects, you know. That's nice. And then when you turn around, that's the front, and you knit in the button bands with the front. And that is, some people don't like that for some reason. I don't understand why, because it's, if you're knitting at the same tension, that's the most brilliant way of having to do a border. And this is in the double knit, which kind of figures in with your brioche stitch, because they're kind of very short rows. I don't know how to explain it, but it takes a lot more time to do a brioche stitch than it does to do a fisherman's rib stitch, or a half fisherman's rib stitch, whatever you want to call it, or an imitated fisherman's rib stitch. it takes longer. I find that this is on a, I think this is on a 3.5 again. She says, I'm hoping it's on the 3.5. It might well be on a 4, knowing me. No, it doesn't say. It doesn't say, but I think it's supposed to be a 3.75, a 9. That's what you're supposed to knit this one in anyway. And I'm coming around it. I'm doing all right. It's, as I say, it's taking time. I find it harder on the hands for some reason. Yeah. Just slip. Yeah, no, I'd have to go back the other way. And just have a look. Ah, yeah, that's it. That's the way I'm supposed to go. And you just knit backwards and forwards on this one. It's not a circular needle, which makes the brioche stitch a lot easier. I'm doing the double knitting border here. Like so. And this is in recycled yarn. This recycled yarn is the Stylecraft Recreate in charcoal, the double knit in charcoal. And it's lovely and soft to knit with. When I say recycled, the interesting thing about this, and I've just finished the border, so I've changed my ring. The interesting thing about this is, there you are, that's the first stitch, I'll keep it on, that it's recycled from wool, recycled acrylic, and recycled plastic bottles. Yeah, so I'm really thrilled with that. I think that's good. Somebody has thought that out well, and it feels nice and soft. And I'm going to tell you that the skirt is in the same but chunky yarn. There's a chunky yarn in the Stylecraft Recreate range. So that was made from the chunky yarn. Have I got a ball to show you? I think I'm on my last one. Yeah, I've got a little bit left. That's it. That's the chunky yarn. So that's that one. I used a lot of this yarn that I've been given. And it's an acrylic yarn. And I've been using, that's the grey. There's a bit of the brown. I think I used that in my dress. And so did I use that in my knitted dress. And there's some brown. Oh, another shade of brown, which I've not used. But there you go, it's there. And some cream. Now, let me just get all these bits and pieces out. I don't need them now. Do I need them? Oh yes, I'm on the grey at the moment. So I've got down to the bottom. I haven't cast off the bottom yet. But it's it's based on a Lincoln Newman design of Norwegian designer. And I used one of her patterns. Nice, isn't it? It wasn't when she did this design, it was on a child's jumper with sleeves. So she'd have knit it across like that, you know, not round and round like I've been doing it. So I've been doing round and round. Then I've got a cream body, and then I've got this grey at the bottom, and that's going to be the same at the end of the sleeve. So I've got the sleeves to do on this. I started the sleeves, but the shade, as you can see, there's a tiny difference in the colour. Right, now which one was I using now? Hang on, I think it's that one. And I think I should be using that one. Let me just check if it fits in. Yeah, that seems better. So I'm going to have to pull that back to where I joined it, and then use that. And that can be used for anything else. So, yeah, that was a bit of a mistake on my part. I'm getting tangled up, so I think what I will do, and plus because I will need the needles at some point, is cast that off. So I'm probably going to cast that off at that point there. And then the grey will be used at the bottom of the sleeves. And I'm hoping, you see, if I use this one at the top and then maybe put a little design in somewhere down the bottom, somewhere halfway down or something, I can use that for going further down the sleeve without it being too noticeable. So that's on my mind to do. So yeah, so that's that one. I've got some pictures of all the stuff that is sat behind my sofa here. And I have got couple of finished objects. As you know, we did the pink petite knits scarf, but I used I had more yarn, so I made it go longer, and I like that. It's a lovely colour anyway. And also, this one has caused a stir within my community. So I've been asked to knit one of these for a friend of mine. And I put that there, but I think I might just cover that with some more of this. You know, I have a chunky kind of band around it. But I tend to wear it this way. And it's so cozy. I went to the hospital yesterday to have an eye injection. I finished November with an eye injection. I'd hoped I wasn't going to get another one. But there you go. That's life. It's something I'm going to have done every couple of months. So it is what it is. And so it caused quite a stir. It's strokeable, obviously, because of the mohair in it. And this is recycled mohair, sort of mohair that somebody gave me. And the blue is what was left out of one of my jumpers. It's the Colour Lab by West Yorkshire Knitters. I did get that right, didn't I? And it was that lovely turquoisey kingfishery blue. So there you are. So I have got a finished object. And plus, I started a couple of little wrist warmers. I've done the first one. I need to do the other one before I even attempt to do a hat, one of these for my friend, or otherwise I'm going to have none of that left. Yeah, so that's today. I think that's enough, don't you? So, I'd love to hear your comments below, and with any of your ideas. And I hope to see you again tomorrow. Have a lovely day and keep knitting.
Step
Well, hello again. I'm back on my sofa. It's been a bad day, weather-wise. It's cold. And this weekend we've had some right fun with our internet. It's just been so up and down. I did a call out in the end, got fed up. So if you're seeing this video today, perhaps something's gone right and we've got our internet back properly. I wonder if it's something to do with the weather. You just don't know, do you? So whilst I was knitting some of those things I showed you on day one, I thought I need something simple to be knitting whilst all this is going on. So I was upstairs and I looked in the basket of my bits and bobs and I found this yarn, and I think I really can't, I looked on the website to see what it was, but I think it's what you call eyelash yarn. Let me just put it up to the screen for you. See, it's got a little sparkle in it, but look, if I just pull it along like that, it's fluffy, velvety. And it's by a company called Ice Yarns. Now, I've got quite a lot of this, and I thought, I don't know what to do with it. So I've decided in the end to do a tube. I wanted to do a kind of a snood that I could wear over the sparkly sweater from yesterday. So I started knitting a tube. Then a little way up I decided to put some armholes in it. So I put some armholes in it. And then I've continued up and then shaped it slightly. At this point of time, I've just I've just gone ahead of myself because I'm talking. I should be increasing on this row. In fact, actually, I'm going to put it down or else I'll do it all wrong. It's going to be a short video today because what worries me is trying to get these videos up because of the internet problems. Oh, and some exciting news. On the 1st of December, when I recorded day one, on the evening, I went and had a look outside my bedroom window at the front and took the camera with me, and I saw my very first aurora. So you'll have seen the photographs at the beginning of this video. So that was exciting. Yeah, my very first sighting, and that was quite unusual because when you're in town, you've got the light pollution, haven't you, from the street lights, and you're not always supposed to see them. But I did, which was really exciting. Anyway, so I took some photographs of that. So that was a bit of excitement on Friday night, but the thing was, all day I'd been struggling with this internet, so yeah, a bit fed up about that, but there you go, it's life. Anyway, so I'd done a little bit more on Friday on this jumper. I thought, because I had problems with matching up the cream, I thought, well, I'll do something slightly different, which is not normally done on a Scandinavian style jumper. Not that I'm aware of, anyway. And so, therefore, I've put in the sleeve as so. So I finished it off there, like I was going to do, with that little stitch in the rusty reddy brown at the top, which I quite like. So I've just continued that patterning down, so that looks like that now. So it matches in with the body there. Yeah. So I've got the other sleeve to do on that now, but I've done that. So that's a little progress. I haven't done anything more on the November jacket yet. I've really just been concentrating on something simple. Yeah, I'll show you just how far I've got with that. It's quite a long way, and it goes up quite quick because I'm doing it on a 7mm needle. There's my there's my armholes. You can just see me through it. Whoop, there you go. And now I'm just doing a very long collar, so that when you fold it down, you'll be able to see the top of the sparkly one. Now, the question I asked on day one was, how would you like me to finish the happy accident that I started, the racing back top? Would you like me to finish it in rib or finish it in the patterning of the panel of rib at the front, plain at the back? Oops, that's the racing back. Or this ribbing down the side. And the comments came back. There's been a few comments because I managed to get day one up last night, which was Sunday, and today is actually Monday when I'm recording this. There has been some comments come back which said that you'd like me to finish it in ribbing. So that's what I will do. So I don't know where this yarn came from. Again, as I said, a friend gave me all of these, so I'm not sure if it's... Oh, hang on a minute. Yeah, I think it's this one. Right. And then, yeah, it was 170 metres in length. So I'm not sure if it was that one. Oh, yes, it must be because I've got more than one label. And the ice yarns, you can find them online. If you go on Google, just Google them, ice yarns, I found them. They're made in Turkey. And they're still producing them. And they're very good prices as well, extraordinarily good prices. You have to buy them in, shall we say, bulk, but the bulk is only about 8 50-gram balls. This black one was, I think I had 8 of those, and that's made that. And that would have cost, in today's price, 59p perhaps, something like that per ball. So you times that by 8, what's that, 8 sixes are 48, £4.80 plus your carriage, etc, etc. You might need to have to check my pricing, but I was looking at some yesterday and it was about 59p UK and 79 cents, I suppose, in amongst the dollar. Yeah, for each 50-gram ball. So that's extremely good value. If you can get 8 of those and it does that, you know what I mean? That's a good amount of fabric in there. Anyway, have a look, see what you think. I haven't bought any from Ice, so I don't know what the current situation is with them, but they are advertising and they are online. But yeah, I've got a lot of this ice yarn upstairs that a friend gave me. Yeah, so I think that's all for today. I'll keep it brief, as I say. I've got plenty to do. I want to finish that little top just now, and then that will be done. Then I'll start on the ribbing on the little top, and then that will be finished. Do a bit more sleeve on the Scandinavian. It's not exactly Fair Isle, it's Scandi. It's more Scandi. It's a Norwegian design. Yeah, so I'll do that. And then somebody said they would like to see just elastic in the skirt. If you want to see what we were talking about, go back to day one. Day one is a kind of 25 minutes of what I've made so far, what I can want to finish, and as the days go on, I've got plenty to finish, so there'll be plenty to show over the next few days. So keep tuned, keep subscribed, or subscribe if you haven't done it already, please, and come and have a look at what I'm doing here in my knitting lifestyle in Orkney. I don't think there'll be much travel documentary this time. Not enough time to do it in. Therefore, if I get any snow, I will give you a little video of that. But at the moment, we've just had some very cold frost, etc. So, yeah. So speak to you soon and keep knitting. So that's the summer wardrobe. Now I've got a lot of hand knitted garments that I always keep this side. These were some of my original crochet. In fact, actually, this was one of my first crochet dresses. So I always keep them that side because I wear them on occasion. My very first crocheted coat. I'll have a slurp of my tea. So now I'm going to put this somewhere whilst I sort out my winter wardrobe. So as you can see, I don't have an awful lot of space in my wardrobe, so it has to be packed, solid almost. I put the majority of my accessories here. It's not ideal, I know that. I mean, I'm going to poke holes in things, I feel that myself. The woolly knitwear is all on velvet hangers. Majority of those are all velvet hangers, and I never have any problems with those. The acrylics If I put them on spare hangers, they manage okay. I don't have very much now. I have a small amount of clothing that sort of isn't my handmade. The majority of this now is handmade. In my wardrobe, I wanted to show you this one day. This is my wedding dress, and I've kept that for 24 years this year, and I made that myself, so that'll be for another day. That has travelled with me all over the north of Scotland, from the mid England all the way up to the Highlands and Islands of Scotland. So there you go. I still don't know what I'm going to wear today. So I'm back on my sofa having a cup of tea, and I have finished the sparkly one. I will put that on model tomorrow, and I have also finished the ice yarns. I'm calling it a tubular, totally tubular top with armholes. So I've done that, so I'll put them on the model tomorrow. The ends need sewing in, that's the only thing. And as usual, I can never find my sewing needle. If you can hear noises in the back, it's just Malky at the sink. Don't worry about it. There's no floods. I've put the Norwegian sleeve armhole on last night, ready for knitting up. So I've put that together ready, and I shall be knitting that. I've got an appointment later on today, so I can only do a little bit today. So I hope you've enjoyed what I've been able to show you today. And yeah, I've got not much wardrobe space whatsoever, but we have to, it is what it is. We have to deal with it as we can. What you didn't see on the other side of the room is a rail of all the things I've knitted this year, which is the video for the new year. Yeah, so a lot of these things will be on that rail. We will jump that hurdle when we get to it. So, see you again soon, and keep knitting. So I'm in the little town of St. Margaret's Hope, home of the ferry from here to, I can't remember the other one, Gills Bay, that's it. It's a lovely evening, and the sea is so calm. There are lots of cute little streets in this area, going down to the harbour. And on the harbour side you've got the old bakehouse with a view of the sea, and a palm tree in Orkney. There you go. Lovely evening. Hello, so I promised you to look at the finished items that I've been doing the past few days. This was a little extra that I started on Saturday, I think it was, when my internet was playing up. So I thought I'll do something simple, which I did. And what I've done with it is, it's just a simple tube. So as you can see, if I take the bag off, it's just a simple tube. There's a bit of shaping, probably from about here, where I presumed it would go near the shoulders, and there's an armhole here, and an armhole obviously here, and it's slightly shaped. And then again I went back to the original stitch count. So it started at 120 and finished at 120 with a little shaping in between. What I thought about this was, so you see, you can, when you turn it back down, you can hang it on the shoulders. Your arm comes out here from this area here. I've put a little belt on it. The area, the measurement between the hem and the beginning of the armhole is about 6 inches. It has quite a largish armhole of about 8 inches, and then up here, I can't quite remember what that was. Do you think that's 3? And then I did, oh, probably about 10 inches, something like that, maybe even 12 inches. But I used up my 8 balls of yarn to do that. 50-gram balls of this Ice Yarns eyelash yarn. It doesn't say on the label, so I can't really tell you. What I also thought was that it could become a hooded version if you turned it upside down and had the short end here with the armholes, and then this longer end could probably be a hood. I'm going to have to try that out before I say anything on that one. Anyway, so that is how I wanted it anyway, without playing around, but you could play around and see what it turns out like. But that was my idea. So let me just take off the top so that you can see the racing back vest. And like a friend gave me this belt. I do like this belt. Yeah, it's very pretty. It's very folksy in my books. Right, I'll just put that to one side. So this is the racing back vest. Now I found a needle. I found a needle, and I only found it just before I started filming for today. And so I've got lots of little ends on it at the moment until I sew them in. But this gives you an idea, and as I said, I gave a little question out to you on day 1. How do I finish it? So I finished it in rib as the comments came back. And I like it. It's come out really nice. And it goes lovely with this skirt that a friend gave me. I like that. I like the fact that it's black net over the lovely red skirt. That's a theme with me. I do like that sort of thing. Let me just come over the other side. So as you can see, let's bring her over a little bit. It's got the lovely round neck I have not done any edging yet. I've got sewing ends in to do. I've not done an edging to this because it already has a suitable edging, because this is a tip that I often say. I don't see it often done, but I'm sure a lot of people do, is when you finish a purl row, knit the last stitch. Start with a knit stitch on a purl row and end with a knit stitch on a purl row. The next row is a knit row and you just knit across, and that therefore you get this really good edging that you don't need to actually do another edging around it. It's a perfect edging. Down the side it has this lovely edging here, as you can see. On the front I've got this panel of rib that goes into the welt around the bottom, which is all rib, as you can see. It starts from the top up here, and this actual rib is a twisted rib, although I would call it a half twisted rib because I've only done it one side, in the sense that the other side is a normal, what it looks like normally when you rib, but the twisted rib is twisting the knit stitch only, not the purl stitch. So that's the front. I love the shape. What I did to get the shape was having to cast on here and bring this ribbing around. So what I had to do was when I got to the bottom of here was carry on in the rib for a little while and then pick up the stitches along the rib here. So that's why you'll find that the lace stops there and there on this back, on this racing back. As I said the other day, I started the racing back here and went down in a triangular sort of shape, which is not what I was wanting to do. I feel as if I'm out of focus here. Am I there? Are you there? Yeah, good. Then I picked up the stitches along there and did a lot of increases around here and also along the neckline there to get this shape, and then I ribbed across between my armband around here that goes around here. So when I came round the front here, I had enough stitches then to carry the straps forward and then carry on increasing as I'd done on the back. I think it was every fourth row, exactly the same as what I'd done on the back. So around here there's a little more and a little more increases on that side and increases across there. So I've not had to put on any new edgings. I've left it as it is, and as I say, it's got to have its little ends sewn in. I think it deserves a pattern, that one, and what I would like to do with this is do it in a cotton, you know. Yeah, a cotton or any other yarns that I've got sitting around in my baskets, etc. I have got a lot of stuff, it's true. I need to work through them, so that's what I'm doing. So that is the beautiful racing back top. I'm very proud of that. It's just one of those things that once it's in the head, it seems to progress. And yeah, I did pull it back a couple of times, but once now I've got the idea in my head, I can reproduce it. Yeah, love it. I love that one. Okay, we'll put her to one side. It's too cold. It's so frosty out there today. It's white. It's like we've had a thin layer of snow. Okay, so that's it. Print Berry. Doesn't she look fine? Let's bring her along a bit. There. There you go. So I still got lots of things to knit, and at the moment I'm finishing the Scandinavian one, but this one has been sat in my bedroom. My knitting and bed project. So I had a lot of black left, so I have mixed up a lot of black yarns in there, but being black, you know, you can't see it. So at the moment, this is another ice yarn, but I can't remember what it was called, because this was, I think I've got a little bit more of that, but I don't know what they call it. And what I did was I started knitting a scarf in it and thought, you know what, that would make a brilliant colour. So I knitted it to probably about 20 inches, enough to be able to put over my head. And then I picked up all the edge along the edge of the scarf to the amount of stitches that I needed to do around the curved and a circular neck. And I just followed my pattern calculations and picked and increased down to the where I need to split for the sleeves, and then gone straight down. And at the bottom I'm going to do a longish, probably about that much at the bottom for the hem, and when I finish the sleeves they'll be similar. That's if I've got enough of the yarn left. Let me see what I've got left. Oh yeah, I've got a fair amount in there. I think that will work. But it's very strange yarn. Have a look. You see that? Yeah. Now, you could do this in spinning. You could spin a yarn like this. So if you had a piece of cotton thread, some cotton mercerized thread, you could actually spin onto that little pieces of your handspun yarn, which would be interesting, wouldn't it? So that's in my head to do as well. It's given me a little bit of inspiration, that has, to do that. So that's that one. So, oh, guess what? I've found another blooming sewing needle. How's that? See, this is where they all go. So that one's, I think I'm going to, once I've finished off the Norwegian one, and if you want to know what I'm talking about, you need to go over the last few days. This is day 4, and I've been talking about that one on day 1 and day 2. Yesterday, day 3, I sorted out my wardrobe. Today, well, I said I would show you what I have actually completed so far. Now this is another project that needs finishing, she says. And Lena, are you on? Are you on today? Because this is the yarn that you sent me. So Lena kindly sent me some yarn that she found. She's like me. She has a look around in these places, and she found me some lovely, I think this is Falkland wool, this one. I was really thrilled to bits with that. And so what I've done so far is mix the two colours together. That's a bit of mosaic knitting down there. This one has a kind of a stitch that goes back on itself. I quite like that, and I've done that up there. There's also another lace stitch in there, and it comes down from this one up here. And for the neck line, I decided to crochet a little shell stitch around there. Again, I've not got an awful lot of the brown, but I've got plenty of the blue left, so I'm just going down there. Now I suppose this time I need to ask you, do I do a double knit hem, or would you like me to rib the hem, or is there anything that you would like to see as a hem, like a cable or just a plain hem, or just mention a stitch you would like me to finish this little jumper in. It's going to have sleeves. I think I've got enough to do that. I think I'm going to have to cast off soon to have a nice sort of cropped jumper. So I'd love to know what you think I should finish this in. Yeah? So if you've got any thoughts, would you like to put them in the comments for me? So that's two more that are needing finishing. This one I started ages ago, when I've talked about that in one of my videos, but I've run out of yarn, so this was made in the Shetland Spindrift, so I'll have to take a little trip down to Stromness to my lady there and to see what she's got that I can fit into there. I quite like this dark red. That does it for me. Right, so that one's to do, but that's going to be a while yet. So Lena, thank you very much. See, look, I've got plenty of that left. So thank you very much, Lena. I am working my way along on that one. And that's the only brown one I've got left. So that's got to be used sparingly. So thank you very much for that, Lena. I enjoy it when people understand my recycling nature, and to have sent me that was really brilliant. She sent me a lot of circular needles as well. I haven't forgotten about the lovely little photographs you sent me of all the baby clothes. I think I've got to do a baby clothes day during this little series of knit pods. There's not been very many views the past few days, so if you would you please share around your little communities, and you know, if you get a bit of inspiration about the things I'm doing, that's great. It might encourage me to write more patterns. As you know, I'm a bit about writing patterns, but I do feel that I've got to reproduce that circular neck pattern, and that is going to happen in the new year. I haven't forgotten about it. It's going to be typed up then. I've been getting my office into some form of order so that I can sit and do that. There's a lot to do. I've let things slide a bit, I think, since Mum died, and since and I also lost a big sister in my family as well, so it's been a difficult year. So I've let things slide, so I need to get back into some form of order and organisation. I've got some work coming to me shortly, so that needs to be done as well. So yeah, the new year I will put up the rail of all the things that I've knitted in 2023, and a lot of these, hopefully, now that they're being finished, will be on there, on that rail. So please keep watching. If you're not subscribed already, please do subscribe. Please stay subscribed. Don't leave me. And please like. Love your comments. Please keep commenting. And if you feel that somebody else would enjoy what I'm doing, would you share my videos with them? So yeah, I'll see you again tomorrow, day 5, with some more interesting projects waiting to be finished, and hopefully we might have another finished project to put on the model. So if you enjoyed what you've seen today, please say hello, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye now, and keep knitting. I've got my jumper on the right way round today. I only noticed when I published the video that I'd got it on back to front. So there you go. Today's model, we have the Fair Isle. Well, I keep saying Fair Isle, but it isn't. It's Scandi Design by Lincoln Newman in her book. I used this section out of her book to create the design. This little bit here is also on the design, but I've made it so that it comes through into the sleeve, which I quite like. But I'm just going to adjust the lighting 1 minute. So I'm hoping this will help a little. And as you can see a little more of the design here, it's a fairly simple design. And it's only, is it 4 colours? Brown, cream, that rusty red and the grey. So that's brown, cream, rusty red, grey. Yeah, 4 colours. I'm usually a 5 colour person, so I've added in. This is a pink, the pink, and I thought that looked really good. This was the Petite Knits longer scarf that I knitted in, I think it was I Will Survive, a yarn I got from Hobbycraft, recycled wool, and I thought it just went well, and so I paired it up with this pair of wide leg trousers I got from Florence and Fred. Probably before lockdown, but you know, hey, I loved them. They look all right, but they don't pull in so well around my waist, so I'm going to have to adjust that, because I don't feel, I've been trying to get rid of them, and then I thought, no, I don't want to really. And then of course my lovely furry velvety leopard print beret, so I thought I'd just put that on. So yeah, so that's my 5 colours. So yeah, I'll just show you around the back. It's no different really, it's still the same, there you go. And I've got a leather bag, pink leather bag, as well. I've also got the leopard print shawl. Let's turn around a little bit. There you go. She looks very smart cash to go out, doesn't she? Now, somebody asked me in the comments yesterday if I would show them into the wardrobe. The lighting is awful at the moment, so we'll give it a bash, but I'm not expecting miracles. The weather outside today isn't bright like it has been with the frost the past few days. It's windy. It's 7 degrees centigrade and it's grey cloud everywhere. Very dark. So yeah, we'll try our best. Okay, oh, that's not too bad. It says more light required, but I think that's all you're going to get, I'm afraid. Sorry and all that. I thought I would concentrate on the acrylic. So I'm going to bob in and back, because all these here are the ones I knitted, and they're all described on the episode 12, which I'll put a link on the end of the end screen to it. And these are all the ones I knitted in 2022, and so you'll see them all described, explained, and what they're made of, etc., in that episode. So I think we'll just leave that, although that will become repetitive then. The ones that I haven't really shown much of are these. This is not handmade by me. I have spoken about this one. This was made by my grandma. This bit was made by my grandma, and this bit made by my aunt. They're both not with us now, so this is well over 40 years old. And I wear it from time to time. I received this the last time I saw my mummy, just before lockdown. Let's pull the camera out a bit. So the first one was this lovely black version of it with red roses. It's a very Spanish feel to it. I love this one. I really do need some red accessories to go with this, you know, like red skirt or red trousers, or I could just imagine a pair of red leather trousers. Isn't that awful? Oh, but you're all squirming in your seats out there. But I imagine something really smart to go with this one. I love it. I love the sleeves. I'm going to come up and do a close-up of the sleeves. The rosy roses, can you see? And the crocheted lace. Love it. So that, like I said, was Mum's. And I went through all the stitching to see if I could replicate it, because I have no pattern for it. I did make her another one in batik, Stylecraft batik, in the sort of the pinky greeny lilac-y version, which she loved. I replicated that one the first, I think. The other idea I wanted to try was just to add a little flower, lacy flower section towards the shoulder of this jumper. This one has lots of little crocheted bobbles on it. This is totally crochet, and this is totally my design. Yeah, with a V-neck. I do like this. Occasionally I do wear it. It's a longer version. I do like that one. And another version of it was this in thicker yarn. I found this thicker yarn somewhere. Somebody maybe gave it me, or I don't know, but I just put a few little flowers on that one, on the sleeves. The same sort of design with a slightly funneled neck. I think this was done on size 15 millimeter needles. Yes, very thick one, that. So those are based on my mum's little jumper. Let's put them right there. Now, the other thing my grandma was good at making was these little crocheted waistcoats. Again, this was from my mum when I last saw her. Came with the jumper. And so I haven't really replicated this one yet. I've given it a bash. Let me just show you. In this gorgeous pink. It's just a cropped version of it. It's okay. I know I can do better with it, so that's one I might have to play with at some stage. This one I know I have talked about in one of my videos, so that's a crocheted linen cotton jacket in this lovely pink, and that was by Rowan. A beautiful crochet book that I got from Rowan. So that's that one. This one was talked about in episode 12, so I won't really dwell on that one. But the main ones are these. This wasn't the first dress I'd made, as I said the other day, but it's totally my own design, using squares on the side and then making a sort of a dolman sleeve. And it's using the 5 colour that I like. So let's just check that out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. It's a 5 colour dress. Yeah. I often wear that over leggings and a t-shirt. Black leggings and a black t-shirt. Or sometimes, I've got some corduroy leggings as well that I wear it over. This is an odd colour arrangement, but it's the same design. I think it's supposed to have an Egyptian sort of colour arrangement. This is a pearly colour. That's obviously coppery, gold, and the lapis lazuli. And I think the pink is supposed to represent a lotus. And this is a bit of lilac down there again, with the pearl. So yeah, I suppose the pearl is something like silver. Yeah, that was the idea. Again, I would wear that over black leggings and a black t-shirt. Oh, they're all packed in, aren't they? I said that the other day, they all have to be packed in. This one, I put a flower on the front. That can be a bit disadvantageous. I think I've created a word, because that's right on your tummy. So if you're bloated that day, it's kind of obvious. But yeah, this one's same design, I'll maybe play around with the neckline a little bit. And this is in a sort of an Indian colour design arrangement. The sort of sagey green, the chocolatey brown, the magenta, and the lilac, the cream, and this kind of taupe. I quite liked that arrangement of colours, so I represented it in a dress. And again, I wear that over a t-shirt and leggings. The reason I wear them over t-shirt and leggings is probably obvious, because they do. You can see through them. The other day I showed you the coat. Again, that was my first design of a coat. I did make 1 or 2 coats after this for various people in similar design, but adding their own touches to it. I like the flowers on this. The flowers aren't my design. They came off a curtain design on Pinterest somewhere. But I thought I'd add that to it. Again, it's another 5-colour design. Very spring-like. It reminds me of is it Wurzel Gummidge? And the little lady in Wurzel Gummidge. That's going back a bit now, I can't remember. Another coat I made was just before lockdown. I wore it just before lockdown as well, and I have worn it since. But it was to match in with another dress I got from Florence and Fred, Tesco's that is, when I say Florence and Fred. And the colours are a vintage peach, lovely bright red, the olivey green, and a jadey bluey green. But this pink is what I liked. And I got a few little brooches, Harris tweed brooches, which I quite liked, and I crocheted a little scarf to match. It's lovely and bright, and I do like that one too. I've worn it. I'm not frightened of wearing colour. Sometimes you just have to be a little conscious of your audience if they're not into it. This is crochet, and this was made in Stylecraft Life. I'm hoping you can see all of these. And it has a kind of a butterfly sleeve, as I would call it, and little butterflies on the bottom in a highlighter green. I love highlighter green. In wool, yarn I'm talking about. I love it. Don't know why. And this is ribbed with a ribbed cable in the middle. And this is all done in crochet. This is quite heavy, but it's great to wear when it's cold. And again, I'll probably wear that over a top and some leggings. I think the final thing I'd like to show you, other than a wedding dress, so I'm leaving that for another day, is this. It's not fair. It is not fair, before anybody gets upset. It is a vintage Cortell coat that I've had for absolutely ages. I did have a vintage sequin skirt. Sequins are all the rage at the moment, but I wouldn't be able to wear it because it would be far too small on me. Size 12, I think it is. In panels of purple, reds, blacks, swirls down the skirt. And I can't remember, it's a proper named vintage skirt. If I ever find it, I hope I haven't given it away. Anyway, that's all for today. I hope that's given you a little visage into my wardrobe. Today, this jumper that I've been wearing is one of these. This one is described in episode 12, and it's based on the calf facet design. It's on episode 12, but that was last year's knitting challenge to knit one of his designs. And I've pulled it back a good few times, but I did enjoy doing it. Okay, so now tomorrow is Friday. And generally on a Friday, I will give you a full podcast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to compile day 1 to day 5 into one longer video. The reason being is people expect to see me on a Friday. They're not expecting to see me doing a daily pod. So this was a little extra something, you know what I mean? To get out to newer viewers, to see, to let them see where I am, what I'm doing, etc, etc. Yeah, we've had a few views this week. I wouldn't say it's been tremendously enormous, but then you see, I didn't publish last Friday because of all my internet problems. So that's not surprising, is it? If day 1 had gone out on Friday night, as per usual, everybody would be saying, oh yeah, I'll be in for number 2 and 3, etc, etc. So what I'm planning to do is do a long compilation tomorrow night. So if you don't want to watch it, you don't have to, but I might be able to add a few little other things in with that to make it a little more interesting. Or maybe you just would like to see it all in one video, because it sort of flows on from day to day a bit, doesn't it? And then next week, I'm giving myself the weekend off. Come on now. Saturday and Sunday, I've got loads to finish off. I've got sewing to do, finish off sewing all the ends in on these jumpers, and then I want to finish the other couple of jumpers I've got on the go if I can. So then next week, from Monday through to Friday, I'll do days 6 to days 11 or 12, isn't it? I'm useless, you know that. Just ignore me. I'll know when I get there. And I'll do the same thing. And then the following Friday, on the 22nd, I will just do a normal podcast, and you can catch up with everything I've done that week. I'll just do the once. I deliberately am not focusing on anything Christmassy. The reason being is at this time of year, a lot of people find it a difficult time of year. For various reasons. We don't need to go into them. And some people actually don't celebrate Christmas. So I like to focus on these kind of people that are looking for something a little bit different this time of year. And I hope I'm fitting into that little genre. Well, that's another good word, isn't it? I hope I'm fitting into that little genre. With my, I like to say they're a bit more grandma core, aren't they? Granny aesthetic designs that I do. Although, they do focus on some of the modern designs that are going around. But I suppose I am very much vintage inspired. It's my era, isn't it? It's the era I grew up in. So, but as we all know, we older ones, what goes around comes around. So we see them all over again, and have done several times during our lifetime. So it's nothing new to us. So, you know, if you want to come, if you're a young'un and you're popping your head round to see me, yeah, come and see what you might be wearing in a year or two. Because that's what they do. It comes back so often. And some things just stay. I love sparkles. Everybody is wearing sparkly skirts and trousers and stuff like that at the moment, like that. But I'd wear them all year round. I wouldn't stick to this time of year. Sparkles are for any time of year in my book. Colour is for any time of the year in my book. So, yeah. Well, I hope you enjoyed that today. And I'll speak to you next week. But keep knitting!